Hello everyone. What we have here is an issue of The Amazing Spider-Man number 139, scripted by Jerry Conway, with cover by Gil Kane on pencils and John Romita Sr. on inks. This specific issue was reprinted in Marvel Tales number 116 and will be a great addition to my collection. The book has some minor defects that we'll be working on today. There are some creases, finger dents, and divots on both front and rear covers with a lot of surface dirt, particularly on the rear cover. Minor spine ticks and 2 color breaking spine ticks on the front cover that, unfortunately, we can reverse and smooth out, but because of the color breaks, remnants of those ticks will remain. Centerfold looks great, and staples look strong. Pages appear to be white to off-white, in my opinion. Overall, this should be a fun project, and fingers crossed, we can improve on the overall appearance of the comic book. So with that said, let's start with the dry cleaning. Not shown on video, calcium hydroxide was used for wet cleaning of covers. Here we are inspecting the covers to figure out the next course of action needed. Viewing the covers, a heat press alone won't cut it. I think that an underlay press would be more beneficial to help with the removal of the defects on this book. With the first press reintroducing moisture into the book, allowing for paper fibers to relax, and with the help of my metal sculpting tool, I can work on manipulating those areas with defects. I don't want to place the book in a humidity tank and humidify the entire book, so we'll go with the underlay press. Let's prepare the book for the press, starting with the stacking layers. This helps with handling of the book as well as providing structure while the book is pressed. Cardstock is placed 2 pages from both covers, and underlay sheets are placed under both covers. Aluminum plates are being preheated on the press as we prepare the book. Careful consideration is taken when placing underlay sheets in the book. If the underlay sheets have any wrinkles or creases, they can't transfer onto the book. Now we'll place the book in the press for the first round of pressing, and yes, there will be multiple rounds of presses for this project, with a re-evaluation of covers done after each press. For more in-depth information related to pressing, there are several great content creators on YouTube and other social media platforms, as well as literature you should purchase if you're interested in pressing, cleaning, and the conservation of comic books. Magazine backer boards are used to handle and flip the book. This is done because the underlay sheets are humidified sheets of paper, and once placed in the comic book, they begin to humidify the comic book wraps and covers almost immediately. The comic book is then placed under the pressing plates. Wrinkling and cockling will start to present themselves on the cover and can press themselves into the book if allowed to dwell for too long, leading to a ruined project. Buffers are placed between the book and the plates in the heat press. Now that everything is done, the book is ready for pressing. Out of the first press, and we begin by removing the underlay sheets and the cardstock from the book. The cardstock will be replaced with new stacking material under both covers. We'll evaluate the book and start tackling the defects with my sculpting tool, hotspot method, and with the help of my miniature tacking iron. Back out of the second and third press, and the defects on the front cover have all improved, but are still visible. There's a finger dent between the letters G and N. There is also a deep dent above the letter P. While the color breaking spine ticks have all been pushed out, what remains is the missing color in those areas. In contrast, the defects on the rear cover have all seemed to disappear. Placing a backer board in the back of the book with a clip holder, I prop up the comic book so that I can start working on the defects from the interior of the cover. Using SRP paper and my miniature tacking iron, I continue the work. Satisfied with the dent removal from the interior of the comic book, I reintroduce humidity back into the comic book using a steam gun in preparation for what should be the final press. Okay, so let's look at the results. At first glance, the 2 major defects on the front cover are no longer visible. After pressing the book multiple times and working from the interior and exterior of the covers, I'm really stoked with the outcome. The rear cover, as mentioned before, showed similar results. Lastly, I'll use a makeup pad to buff and polish both covers. This will remove any dullness that appears from the dry cleaning and bring back a nice shine. Before and after photos will follow at the end of the video. I have to say, this was a fun project with satisfying results, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm looking forward to sharing more projects with everyone. Thank you for watching.